Hello, my name is Paul Tranny, and I want to show you how to make an HTML5 website in Dreamweaver. Now, I'm going to go ahead. Obviously, I have Dreamweaver open. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new HTML page. I can do it from here, or even going to File, New. Okay, so either way, when I go to File, New, I can start with a blank page. So from here, HTML is selected, and there's various templates, but I'm going to work from scratch. In fact, I'm going to have this set to none. And look right down here, doc type, the document type for this HTML page. I can choose HTML5. Okay, it's going to be a lot more straightforward, and I'll get into some of the HTML5 tags later. But selecting HTML5, I can click Create. Okay, and this is what I get. In fact, there's three different views. I have the code view, the split view, and then the design view. Okay, and I recommend working in split view so you can see the code. In fact, over here, when you type something up, Safari Tours is this site. When I type that in, look what happens. It appears in my body right here. All right, pretty straightforward. I do want to give my title to my document. In fact, I'll just call it this same thing, so I'll just copy that and paste it right up here like that. And look what it does right here is it puts it right here in the title. But as you can tell, you can edit the HTML or just go ahead and write right on this page. So I can paste in some more text. You know, again, this could be any body copy. I'm just pasting in some copy for now that will that can be replaced later, but you can see how it puts that in. All right, so far so good. But you don't want to go too far without saving your document. So I'm going to save my document, and when I save it, I actually need to save it to my desktop or my computer basically, and I need to set up a local site. So basically just have a folder on, say, your desktop that will contain your website. So before I even save it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this Files panel, which is probably the most important panel in Dreamweaver. Because in this Files panel, I can go ahead and manage sites because I want to set up just a new site. So anytime I save my files, I want them to be saved in this folder. So I'm going to create a new site. And from there, right here, pasting in that same name, Sabi Safari Tours, pointing to a folder on my desktop, and it could be anywhere, but I just have this website folder. Okay, so selecting that, and then right down here, you can see I can click Choose. All right, saving my file or my settings, clicking Done. And now we can see, check this out, right in here, Sabi Safari Tours, pointing to that folder on my desktop. Okay, so it actually gives me that path right there. In fact, if I even right-click on it, I can go ahead and show where that is, reveal in Finder, so basically jumping out to that folder. So it's very important to know where your files are, definitely, and you want to set up your site just like that. So nesting that off to the side, with that done, I can save this page with confidence, knowing that it's going to be saved in that same folder. The start of any website is going to be your index HTML page, so I'm going to call this index HTML and saving it just like that. Alright, so far you're not impressed, and neither am I. We really need to clean this up. Okay, so we need to add some more style to this. Okay, and the easiest way to do that is using page properties in your properties panel. Okay, so with nothing really selected, I can click on page properties. And this is the easiest way to get started. From here, I can change the appearance using CSS, which is cascading style sheets, which is what you want to use. You can change the page font. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and change it to Arial. Okay, And when I click apply, you can see how it changes that font to Arial. Going in, I can change my text color to white, maybe my background to black. Clicking apply, you can see how that looks. Okay, so far so good. I'm liking that, but it's not quite there yet. In fact, what I want to do is I want to add a background image. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to click Browse, and since I set up that site, it takes me to that folder, and there's an Images folder that I've created, and inside of that Images folder is just that background JPEG. Now, please, please, please make sure you take any graphics you're going to use and put in that folder, okay? So again, put it in this website folder, in this images folder. This is where all your graphics should be. Don't go hunting around your hard drive for those files, because we want that path to look just like this, images background JPEG. Clicking open and clicking apply, select OK, and you'll be able to see that in fact the image is quite large, but it actually is there and looks very nice. Alright, so the image is back there. So far so good. I'm going to save this page. Going beyond this, I want this to be a title. So what I can do, instead of the format being paragraph, I can change this to heading 1. Okay, watch what happens right over here in my HTML. Instead of it being a paragraph tag, it's going to be changed to heading 1 and H1 tag, and you can see how it makes it pretty large. Okay, I'm not a huge fan of this. You know, I would want to change that. So going into my page properties again, I can take a look right in here, my headings for my CSS, heading 1, which is what I was just dealing with. I can go ahead and make that maybe 16 point, click apply, kind of get a feel for that. Let's go up to 24. That's looking a lot better, and I can even give it a slight color. So I'm just going to pick up just a hint of that, you know, sort of a gold color, kind of like that. Okay. So I have just added this headings CSS, and look what happened over here in my HTML panel. Heading 1 added that CSS, those CSS properties. Okay, pretty cool. I can click OK. It's nice using this page properties panel. You know, it's pretty handy. You can see what gets written when I use that page properties panel, but just as easily I can jump in here and change the font size to 22, just like that, and it changes it to 22. Okay. All right. So far, so good. I like this. I'm saving this. Let's do one more. Let's do one more thing, and that's inserting imagery. Okay. So I'm just going to place my cursor right there, and I'm going to go to Insert Image, and I'm going to locate this lion JPEG. Again, make sure all your images are in your images folder. Clicking open. Give it some alternate text, lion, real creative there, but that's my alternate text, which will appear on rollover, and there's my image. Okay, so you know, that's not bad. You know, there's more that I can do with it. In fact, you know, in this case for this item, there's like a number of things I can do with it. In fact, if I wanted to apply some more properties to it, I can. Okay, because quite frankly, I might actually want to resize it, but you never want to just take it and resize it down, because you're basically taking a large image, but you're only showing it like at half the size. So you never want to resize. You actually want to resize, say in Photoshop, and that's what that little edit button will do right there. But what I want to do now is I want my text to float on the right-hand side and this to be on the left-hand side. So in that case, I'm going to select it. I don't have that option down here. What I need to do is create a new CSS style. Just like I created some CSS styles for my H1, I'm going to create a specific CSS style. So I'm going to create a new CSS rule, okay? And in fact, I can say, for the specific image tag, and this will be applied to all images, I can select image, select OK. It's creating that CSS rule. There's nothing in it yet. And from there, I can go down, say for instance, to my box. So if I want this to float to the left, I can click apply. You can see it's going to float this to the left, so it's always on the left-hand side. Maybe you don't like how that butts right up against the image. Well, you can give it some margin as well, clicking apply, and you can give it that spacing just like that. Clicking OK, and that's a pretty good start. In fact, the last thing I'm going to do to make this really cool, because this is, HTML5, and I want to do some CSS3, I'm going to change my background attachment. So background attachment, doing that drop down, you can see I can make that background fixed so it never scrolls. Some other things I can do as I jump into this one more time. I can go to background size. So this is a CSS3 property. I can make sure it always covers. So watch this. Selecting that to cover. So that large image that you'll see in a second, as I save this, if I preview it in a browser, say in Chrome, you can see how that background constantly covers the web page. So you can see how that scales, and just like that. And there's the start to my HTML website, creating your very first page. I'm going to make these source files available, but feel free to follow me on Twitter at Paul Tranny, as well as on Facebook. So thanks so much for watching.